And as expected, it's created an empty budget. Again, I need to modify the opening bank balance. And put in my overdraft and credit rates. You'll notice it's already trying to work out the interest. Working out how to complete this blank screen could be quite hard work. We could print out last year's cash flow, but a much easier option is to go up to line 2 and ask it to show actuals for 2006. For each category, it shows the last year's totals. If we expand it out, we can see extended code by extended code the monthly totals. Budgeting your income is the most important part of completing a budget, but to demonstrate some of the budgeting techniques, I'm going to move down to the expenditure section. Let's have a look at administration. If I hold my mouse in the July column on administration line and right click, I can choose to copy line 2. It has copied last year's actuals as displayed on line 2 and placed them into line 1. If I click on the expand code button, you can see the detail by each extended code. I can go through any of these and change them to reflect my view of what will happen this year. Copy line 2 has another variation. We can go to a code like rates and insurance, expand out rates and insurance so that we can see the subcodes, right click and choose copy special. In this case I'm going to scale the values by 8%. This has copied last year's actual, brought it into this year's budget and added 8% to it. That's a very useful tool. There are several other techniques for quickly and easily preparing your budget. Let's have a look at electricity, type in what we think the annual total is going to be and ask it to spread it over the whole 12 months. Alternatively, we could go back to administration and choose something like legal expenses or farm advisory where we're doing something quarterly and say starting the second month is going to be a $300 amount and we ask it to repeat it every third month. As you can see, you'll very quickly build up a detailed budget. And by having last year's actuals displayed on the second line, you can validate your estimates. And that's what budgeting is all about. For large items of expenditure and most income items, I strongly encourage you to use things called worksheets. For example, I'm going to go across to March, double click and bring up a worksheet. It's already set the month of March as the date. I can say that on 100 hectares I'm going to put on 250 kilograms of fertilizer costing $220 per kilogram. So I'm going to say here 250 kilograms per hectare on these paddocks and make a list of all the paddocks. When I click on OK, that total now appears in the main window. Definitely use worksheets for large items of expenditure, and they're absolutely vital for any key items of income. The next training segment talks about stock reconciliations. Before we start on the very important task of discussing livestock reconciliations, I just want to explain that when we've got a budget that we like, in this case mine's the budget called Main for the year 2007, we can click on Cashflow and save copy. It asks for a name, I'm going to call it my original budget. Click on Close. If I want to, that original budget is now available on these drop-down lists. A good way of using this is to leave my main or working budget on line 1, but on line 2, display my original budget for 2007. You can save as many budgets as you require, and is a very powerful tool for completing what-if planning sessions.